Hello everyone and welcome to highlights of this Vanarama National League South clash between Bath City and Taunton Town from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏 Park. It's a Somerset derby here in Bath and a meeting of third versus second, with the southwest side setting the pace in the division so far. City are playing their first home game in 31 days. 8 of their last 10 have been on the road, covering about the distance between 𝗛𝗚𝗏 Park and Marrakesh in 2 months. Taunton make the 50-mile trip here tonight, with half their team familiar to these surroundings. 8 of Saturday's squad were former City players, clocking up 782 appearances for the Romans combined. They suffered their first home defeat at the weekend when Mason Bloomfield's early goal for Hampton proved the difference. Despite this setback, they've replicated City in making an eye-catching start. Both have lost only 3 games in all competitions this term. Jerry Gill has brought in Will Buse on a 28-day loan from Yeovil to cover for Ollie Wright, who has a long spell on the sidelines with a dislocated shoulder. Jordan Thomas starts in place of Cody Cook. Ben Morgan is back in the squad following the birth of his daughter. Taunton head of football Rob Dray makes 1 change from Saturday. Zach Smith starts in place of Dylan Morgan. Ross Stern and Nat Jarvis lead the line. Stern scored 51 in 180 outings for the Romans. Commentary is provided by Bath City Radio's Andrew Kerslake and Alex Lane-Kieltyka.
And we're underway here at 𝗛𝗚𝗏𝗛𝗏𝗧𝗏 Park. And Luke Russ kicks it straight downfield. Ewan Clark will compete for it, and he does come away with the ball. Just down that left flank. Scott Wilson just trips over as he's making his way into the box. Clark can try and send a cross in. Does deflect off a defender, and he'll go out for a throw-in. Now it's Booth. Taunton just passing it patiently around the back at the moment with Grimes for captain. Switches up the play to the left-hand side, diagonal ball, which does somehow reach Smith. Sends a cross in towards Jarvis. It's Stern. Great save from Booth. Cat reflexes there from the lone goalkeeper who just came in today. And Greensay can bring it away. Now Clark, brilliant first touch from Ewan Clark, and a huge burst of pace there. All the way down to the left-hand side, sends a cross in towards Wilson, but avoid any City players and go for a goal kick. Well, end-to-end stuff here at 𝗛𝗚𝗏𝗛𝗏𝗧𝗏 Park.
Just had a little bit too much on it, that ball from Clark, but Buse, great save. I did think it flicked off a City player as well, coming to him, but he had to react instantly. Really hard for him coming in tonight. I mean, he's not played behind this defence before, and yeah, you can watch videos and you look at stuff, but it's still not the same as being out there.
Lucas goes all the way back to Booth. Very imposing figure is Austin Booth. There's a great build to him. Sends another ball to Jarvis. Once again, it works well. Now it's Jarvis, sorry. Takes a shot of the left foot. He just swiped the back shot slightly and it goes way wide. It was actually Smith that brought it down. Oh, a very clever throw in towards Wilson, across from Russ. Somehow Dan Hayfield's throw just was miscalculated by the Taunton players, and Russ sent a lovely flashing cross across the box, and Wilson just not able to make enough contact. Had he done so, that would have been 1-0. Pass out. Now inside the Taunton half of Greenside. Lovely one-touch passing here from City, looking comfortable on the ball now, just as Taunton were a moment ago. Reigns does have Hayfield on the overlap, brings it inside. He actually flicks it over to Thomas, who will take a shot with the left foot, and it took a bit of a divoted bounce, which 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 does really well to watch over way. Gets down low to his right. They've worked a few times this season, and Jordan Thomas and Scott Wilson get on the end of them. Clark, who seems to be a step ahead of some of the players sometimes, gets it to Greenside, back to Russ. He's come back to the edge of the centre circle with Reigns. Sideways ball to Smith. Lovely ball forward now to Greenside. Can send another cross into Wilson, who once again has a great opportunity to direct it towards goal. He fluffs his lines though. Has cleared away. Smith does really well for Bath City.
Yeah, he went for a little flick, Wilson, didn't he? Didn't quite come off.
Clark seems to be having a bit of fun tonight as well, showing off a few little fancy passes. Usually we're seeing him just run with the ball. Now we're seeing the more technical prowess of it with Thomas now to Clark. Both of them on that right-hand side, right near the edge of the box though. Goes back to Smith, now to Wilson, who's brought down quickly by Booth. And referee does say free kick in a very dangerous position, so you'd imagine it'll be either Clark or Hayfield to take this one.
Really good position, probably about 25 yards out.
Here comes Hayfield with a free kick, and it's low, but straight at the goalkeeper. Wanted to try and put him off, going low by the wall that time, but 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 watches it all the way. Evans, now inside the Bath City half. James Smith does very well to get it inside to Folson, who sends a low cross in. Would have gone towards Jarvis that time, but it's cleared away by Rains, and now Clark can bring it away down that left flank. Has Wilson ahead of him. Just holds on to the ball now to Scott Wilson. 9 goals in the league so far this season. Sends the ball forward to Thomas. His first touch lets him down, though. I think it was well defended as well by Taunton, is able to bring it away with Booth on that right-hand side. End-to-end stuff at the moment. Here comes another diagonal ball, and it should reach Smith, and it does so. Here comes Zach Smith now. Gets it back onto his right foot and uses his left to get it to Evans, who's had to go back about 20 yards there. And a lovely cross in towards Jarvis, who does win the header. And Booth leaps like a salmon there, and I think it made it look a lot closer than it was. But I think it did deflect off of Parcel, who's holding on to his head because it's gone out for a corner there.
Yeah, I got the feeling that Buse thought the ball was going well wide, and then suddenly at the last minute thought it might be creeping in. So he had to very rapidly dive to his left-hand side.
Two sides who, in honesty, probably didn't expect to be where they are as of right now at the start of the season, now trying to hold each other off. But now good opportunity for Stern, who's inside the box, takes a shot off the post. Here comes a rebound shot, saved again by Booth. That was from Folsom that time, and now Clark is able to counter-attack away. He does have Thomas inside. Brilliant challenge there from James to keep it away from the youngster. And that was a great opportunity for Ross Stern. He just chips the outside of the post there.
It's a great, really powerful shot. I mean, Booth was beaten.
Rains to Wilson, does well to bring it down. Back to Russ, switches it up to the left-hand side now for Greenside. Inside for Taunton half. Looking for an overlap. Here comes Thomas now. First touch with the right foot. Does really well to skip past Booth. Takes a shot with the left foot. Saved by Lavamore. It's Wilson. Oh, and it's just wide. I'm not quite sure what happened there exactly. Wilson saying it came off defender last. And Lavamore did well initially to save the bolstering a shot towards him from Thomas, but then Wilson not able to find that rebounding goal.
Well, they were sliding in together, weren't they? Defender and Wilson alongside each other. Hard to tell who that came off, but certainly the best chance that City have had this half.
Grams does really well with the weaker foot just to find Chamberlain, but he is dispossessed from Thomas. Smith. Now Clark does well to skip away from a challenge, just have a few players around him. He might just take a shot instead, Clark, and he does so, and it's a whip ball, but he wasn't quite able to get enough curl on it, and it's high as well, and it goes out for a goal kick. But City's starting to find some opportunities now. Rains. Patient play from City now, not rushing anything forward. First time we've seen that properly today.
Just 4 minutes to go before the interval. Hardly been any stoppages at all.
And Batten is put off there by Stern, who could have found himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but Batten does well to recover. I'm not quite sure what the Taunton technical area is moaning about, because Batten certainly got the last touch on that one, but almost got completely dispossessed that time, Jack Batten, and Ross Stern would have had a one-on-one opportunity, and Ross Stern still moaning there, but it definitely came off Batten last. Very early putting the board up, but it will be 3 minutes in about 5 seconds time added on as Rains does very well there. Rains looking very comfortable in that centre-back position, and Clark is brought down there by Lucas. And that will be the first booking of the day, and has to be said, it wasn't a terrible challenge. It was just very late in those slippery balls. Well, Rains can send the cross in now from right-hand side. He does so towards Hayfield. He did win the header, but he's put off very well by Grimes that time. And there goes the half-time whistle. A few seconds a bit early, but it makes sense to send him in now. And it does end this first half. Bath City 0, Taunton 0. Rains does well to pick up possession again. He's just going to shepherd it out for a throw-in for City, halfway inside their own half. Ball over top to Russ, who probably didn't realise that the marker had actually backed off of him there, but Smith does really well to keep hold of possession. Gets it on to Clark inside the Taunton half now. Has Greenslade ahead of him. Instead, just a few step overs, can send a cross in at the left flank. Now Wilson, who holds it up in the box, can take a shot. Now Wilson does so, and it's just wide there. A few inches wide, but he had to turn a 180 to take that shot that time. Still 0-0.
Yeah, he didn't manage to wrap his foot around it enough, but a nice move from Clark and from Greenslade down this side. They were looking for the pass to Greenslade all the time.
Wilson holds up the ball well. Chamberlain does well to intercept though. And it's Batten that time who decided to put his weight all the way behind Ross Stern, and Jerry Gill not happy with the decision of the free kick, and it's actually going to be a booking. It's actually on Russ, actually. Russ hits it forward down that right wing towards Clark, who's able to hold on to it, and somehow he comes out with it as well, and he will run towards the byline. He does have Scott Wilson inside the box now. Sends across it to Wilson and gets his header completely wrong. He dived way too early for it. Smith now, still in possession of City. Goes back to Russ. Now Smith, he may just take a shot from range here, and he does so. It's a low one down to the keeper's left. He does well to hold on there, but two good opportunities for City to find the leading goal.
Yeah, and a good idea from Thomas Smith. He was some distance out, but the surface, of course, skiddy, all that rain coming on it, and not exactly the kind of situation that @𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛's going to like in the Taunton goal.
𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛 got that kick completely wrong, and it fell all the way to Russ. Lovely diagonal ball to Thomas, who may just take a shot from edge of box. Oh, so 1-0 to City in the Somerset derby. 57th minute. A beautiful, lovely finish there from Jordan Thomas. We're having a little bit of a moan about him at half-time, but here in the second half, he's come out to show once again, and he's made it. Bath City 1, Taunton Town 0.
Well, that goal came really from 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗛's mistake. A very poor ball out, and Thomas collected it. The defender trying to track back just fell over, leaving a huge gap for Thomas, but he made absolutely no mistake. It's the kind of angle we were talking about in the first half. He really likes that slanting ball across goal. Well, if he wanted to provide an example of what he can do, there was no better than that. Absolutely piling the ball into the back of the net.
That was an incredibly professional finish as well, perfectly into the bottom corner. Lovely curling effort. John Thomas, that is beautiful, mate. That's absolutely beautiful. And it's now 1-0 here at Twerton Park. James, here comes the diagonal ball now. And it will reach Smith, but first time challenge, gets it away, that time from Rains. Smith, Tom Smith that is, in fact. And wins it back, does Smith actually. A good opportunity now for Clark to break onto Wilson's ball, and he does so. And he's having to put off a few players there to try and keep hold of possession. Goes to the left-hand side of the box, gives it back to Greenside. Now with Clark again. Could run towards the byline, chooses not to, only Chamberlain on him. Smith. Russ. First time back to Smith. Now Rains. He may just take a shot from range here, and he will show Rains, but he slips over in the process, and that's where the rain will cause a few issues. It goes way wide. Still 1-0. To Smith, who's playing more or less a centre-back position now. Parcell. Over the top ball, which Wilson will run on to. And he does incredibly well to shoulder out Booth. And he can run into the box now. Hasn't got any players in with him. May just take a shot now. Wilson lays it off for Smith. The edge of box, takes a shot. Has a second chance now, takes a shot. And it's deflected off a defender that time. Two very tame efforts from Smith there, it felt like.
I think he was so determined to keep the ball down, because so often he leans back for those and he goes over the bar. I think City, by and large, will be fairly pleased just to contain the opposition at the moment and look to catch them on the breakaway.
Folsom sends a cross in towards 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗛, and it finds its way to the back of the net.
I think they're all running.
And the referee's put his flag up for offside. The linesman put the flag up there.
Well, they all ran over to Fulston, certain that that was in the back of the net. But the referee's assistant given offside. And all the Taunton bench up, pointing, gesticulating. Ross Stern leading the complaints. And a long conversation between the referee and his assistant. His assistant is determined to keep his flag up, though.
But for me, it didn't look like
I think the referee's going to give this.
I believe so too. No, offside.
Oh, no, he has given
Incredible
offside.
decision. Fair play to the referee. Not all referees like to agree with their assistants in most situations.
And particularly not to have a long discussion, which obviously lends some doubt and lends for complaint. But well done, the referee's assistant. He's stuck with his flag.
Lucas. Ball over the top, which 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗛 can't find. And once again, 𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛's offside, but they can play on here because Clark has the ball. The referee does very well to allow the advantage to happen. Clark has about 3 or 4 yellow shirts around him, nowhere to go. Gets back to Smith. Still inside the Taunton half with Hayfield. He may just take a shot here. Doesn't do so. Puts it out wide to Thomas. He may just try and cut in. He's on the edge of the box now. Goes to the byline. Sends a cross into Wilson. Back to Thomas. And deflected off a player. It was Folsom that time as well, and there was appeals for handball. I think it may have just come straight off his body, though. Yeah,
referee indicated straight away that he wasn't giving a handball.
Rains does incredibly well there to dispossess the Taunton player. A ball forward now for Hayfield to send a cross in, wins a throw-in instead. Very much end-to-end now all of a sudden.
Yeah, and City also getting the crowd going on the Poplar side. They haven't had a huge amount to cheer. And you might just hear in the background there, tonight's attendance, 1,537 packed into a rain-soaked Twerton Park, and absolutely great attendance.
Yeah, We love those 4-digit attendances, and it obviously does look more to us. Obviously, it could be because obviously the stands are a bit packed of the weather at the moment, but good opportunity. That should be a free kick right on the edge of box for City. Hayfield's brought down. Great run by the charging midfielder there.
Evans getting a yellow card, we suspect.
Yeah, talking to the skipper as well. Probably tell him to calm down, because if he does another challenge like that, he may find himself in the book, in fact. No booking given there, which is quite surprising. Still Bath City 1, Taunton Town 0. And I suppose the referee hasn't gone to check on Hayfield yet.
He's still rubbing his head.
Very much so, and it will be Thomas, in fact, with the kick. It's a lovely one. It spills through the keeper, and it's 2-0 off Wilson. Somehow, the keeper gets it completely wrong. It goes through his legs, and Scott Wilson is there to head it in the 78th minute. It's now Bath City 2, Taunton Town 0.
Yeah, I think Thomas just got so much oomph on that ball. The keeper couldn't really control it, and really, really powerful kick. And, well, that really puts this to bed, you feel, and makes up somewhat for the 2-0 defeat that City suffered last season here to Taunton back in April.
10th league goal of the season for Super Scotty Wilson. That was a proper poacher's finish, wasn't it? Just on the rebound of a free kick, of a free kick, in fact, and he just heads it in about 2 yards out. As expected, the 2 goal scorers are Jordan Thomas and Scotty Wilson, and that's double digits for the main man up top as well. That's a gorgeous ball by Ewan Clark to find Hayfield. He spreads out to the left-hand side. Greenside! Oh my goodness! That is phenomenal from Danny Greenside to make it 3-0 to Bath City. That is outrageous from the left back. First time strike, edge of the box, into the top bins. Incredible from Danny Greenside. 3-0 to Bath City. 80 minutes gone.
Well, I'm just off to rub Alex down with a wet kipper because I think he's so excited there. I can see all red lights on our mixer flashing away here with that, but I have to say it was justified because, well, the ball came to Greenslade, and boy, did he catch hold of that. It curved, it spun, it travelled at real pace, and there was no way that Lavercombe was going to stop that in a month of Sundays. And suddenly this has gone from a tentative 1-0 lead to a 3-0 crushing of local rivals Taunton Town.
I imagine it will be Clark. It's been all over the pitch today, and that's incredibly poor from Grimes, and finally Wilson has got the better of Grimes on that occasion. He sends it to Ewan Clark, but onto his left foot. Oh, it's a great save initially. Here goes Clark again, trying to find his way into the back of the net. And he does win a corner somehow, and at the moment City players just having a bit of fun with these Taunton defenders.
I think Clark and the ball nearly ended up in the net, but it's going to be Clark's last action of the half because Freer is coming on. Sorry, not the half, the game.
And here comes the corner for City in towards the box, headed away by Booth. Greenside trying to get on the rebound. Not able to do so, and Taunton can try and break away, but Rains is there first, and he just hoofs the ball clear, keeping the ball away. No nonsense from Joe Rains, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, City keeping 3 back there to mark Nick McCooty as they're about to make another substitution.
It will be Cody Cook. I imagine it will just be a straight swap with Scott Wilson, and it will be top scorer in the league, top scorer for City this season. His 10th of the league campaign. Pushes it forward, McCooty brings it down. Huge round of applause for Ewan Clark here now in the grandstand as he struts by, in fact. That's putting in another crucial performance for City.
And yeah, he must feel pretty good about that.
Folsom, good overlapping run as well from Evans. Finds his way into the box. Good opportunity for a goal for Taunton there. And it was Smith who, with the left foot, just tries to curl it into that top corner. But Boo saw it going wide the entire time. Chris Lyons is about to make his 50th appearance for Bath City. And in those 50, he's been such an influence on this team. I absolutely love watching him play, Andrew.
It's coming on for Tom Smith, who's also going to get a good round of applause. You know, either a bigger club away or something.
Here comes
like
Greenslade again. He's been to shoot. He does, and it's a cracking. It's a hell of an effort, but it's way high, way wide as well. Will be a goal kick. Lyons goes away back to the keeper, Will Boos, and as we said, I've been very impressed by Will Boos on his debut.
Yeah, done absolutely nothing wrong.
Cook, that's a brilliant header from Cody Cook, and Freer may just try and run away into the box now. Instead, he decides to go back to Greenslade.
No, he knows at this stage possession is the name of the game.
And, Russ was brought down there, and he's not happy he wasn't given the free kick as Morgan with a burst of pace. But there's Russ again, and he might win the free kick that time, and he does so. Annoyingly, you don't really get injured in the last minute of the game, but he certainly wanted to make it clear. But
he's had a cracking match, I think, Russ.
Yeah, there's a few player of the matches, I think. Obviously, yeah, Thomas. The problem with Thomas was that he just didn't have the best first half for me. But there goes the full-time whistle, and it ends here. The Somerset derby at Twerton Park. Bath City 3, Taunton 0.
Yep, an absolutely decisive victory here by City. I think that the most decisive point for me was when City got that brace of goals. 1-0, it still looked as if Taunton could come back into this game. They've made a couple of substitutions, they've brought on their forwards, but then suddenly Thomas down that side, the ball into the box, Wilson bundling it home, and then that wonder goal from Greenslade, and that was match over. Okay, there was only, in effect, 15 playing minutes left, but Taunton were never going to come back into this. And you feel that there are some old problems there that they suffered from last season, that they just don't have that variety up front and creativeness that City have so discovered this season with Clark, with Thomas, with Wilson, with Cook, and with Russ in midfield. They've really looked a good unit. And City's defence, well, we've hardly talked about them this evening. How many times have we mentioned Kieran Parcell? Hardly at all. And that's because they've had so little to do. And that's because the midfield and the forward line have played so well. Well, thank you very much for being with us this evening. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Alex, who's going home to watch the videos of the goals of Dan Greenslade over and over again. He'll have it on perpetual wine. But thank you for listening with us. We've enjoyed your company. And if you can't get to Twerton Park on Saturday, then Bath City Radio will be there as well. But from us at Twerton Park on a wet night, it's good evening from us.